So while trying to edit the video, I realized that, well, I kept hearing my chair making noises. So I'm sorry about that. I hope you can just look past that and enjoy the video. Today, I want to talk about text documents, whether it's your notes or some document for work or a story that you're writing or some draft for some schoolwork or anything. Basically, any text document. I want to talk about that. So I'll be telling a few personal experiences that I've had. If you don't want to listen to those, you can skip ahead. But I think it's important to tell you my story so that you uh, you know where I'm coming from and you know why I'm saying the things that I say about text documents in general. Um, so the first laptop that I had was in university, and with it came a CD of a program called WordPerfect. Now, if you look it up, it's a really old program which doesn't exist anymore. WordPerfect was perfect because it was free and it came with the laptop, and I used that for almost everything, from writing notes in my courses to writing short stories and creative work, which I used to do, and journaling, and just notes about keeping random notes that nowadays people use, like Notion or Evernote or OneNote and things like that. So I used that for a number of years until I I stopped doing it and moved on to Microsoft Word. So some years later, I tried to access those notes and I couldn't because I can't remember what the exact reason was. Either I lost the CD or I could not install the CD on an upgraded operating system. Either way, those notes were gone. I could not access those notes. So for a number of years, I used MacBook Pros, and I was using a program called Evernote, which I'm sure you've heard of. I liked Evernote because it was simple and it was organized. There was not much to it, and it it limited you to writing in single pages, and just the way it was much more streamlined and organized when compared to OneNote. So I used that for a while until I started to have issues with it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was not able to access my notes or the app kept crashing. So it was around the time when Windows 10 came out, and together with it, two-in-one laptops started to come out. And it was the same time I was losing interest in MacBooks because there was no real innovation that was happening with Mac OS at that time. So I decided to jump ship and move to Windows. So I bought our two-in-one laptop, and I I came across OneNote once again, but this time it was different because there was a touchscreen, and there was a pen you could use and write on the screen. You could also type on it, and it recognized your handwriting. And there was a whole bunch of things that made me gravitate towards OneNote. So some years ago, this was before the pandemic, I decided to go back to university to study astrophysics, which I didn't complete for a number of reasons. But while studying, I was taking notes in OneNote, and it was amazing because you could write in it, you could take pictures and pictures of the professor's notes, add it to it, add slides to it, and make your own notes to it. My notes were the envy of my classmates. So what I did was, after I decided that I was not going to continue, I took those notes and saved the file, the OneNote files, on a separate folder somewhere. And then I deleted the notes from my university's OneNote account. About 3 years later, I tried to open the notes, but I couldn't. the file just wouldn't open. I don't remember the exact error that I got, but I think it was something about the file format is of an older version. You need to upgrade the file, or something like that. And I tried to do that. I was not able to. So basically, all those notes that I had are, I cannot access them. Those notes are some of my most valuable possessions, but but I cannot access them. The point I'm trying to make is your notes, your text documents will only remain as long as you are using the same app, or you continue to use the same program, or the same service that you are using. I was not able to open my notes after about 3 years of not touching them. Do you think you'll be able to access your notes 10 years from now if you decide that you're not going to touch them, or if you're not going to open that app for 10 years? Do you think you'll be able to access those notes? I don't think so. I mean, I was not able to access my notes only 3 years after I had last opened it. There will always be some kind of file format change, or some new feature that the company or the app developers will implement in their apps, which might cause you to lose your notes, or lose your account, or something can happen. Your notes will remain in some file, but that file will no longer be valid in the new app or the new service. Who knows? I mean, within after 10 years, these companies that are developing your apps, or these online note-taking services, will they even exist in 10 years? So I've told you the problems with these note-taking applications and these word processing applications. But what's the solution? So around 4 or 5 years ago, I slowly started moving my notes and my text documents away from these applications and these online services to text files, just plain old text files. Now I only use text files. I am 100% fully committed to using text files. Uh, I use text files for making notes, and I love note taking, for journaling, for writing drafts for my blog, ideas for videos like these, pretty much everything. If you are coming from apps like OneNote or Evernote or Apple Pages and other word processing and note taking applications, you might find that you cannot add images. You cannot attach spreadsheets. You cannot add like fancy colors, and and create databases and whatnot. But if you decide to uh, write your notes and write your text documents in plain old text files, even after 100 years, someone will be able to open those text files. You know, whether you want them to open or not, that's another thing. But even, I would say, even after 100 years, those text files will still be valid. At least I think so. I don't think we're going to be moving away from the text file format anytime soon. And not only that, maybe you don't care about your notes lasting for 100 years. That's fine. I don't really care about all that too. But I can use any program that I want to open up my text files. I don't need to pay a subscription to download a program that may or may not be the same a year from now or 2 years from now. I don't have to worry about compatibility when I upgrade my computer, or move from, say, Mac to Windows or to Linux. I don't have to worry about all of that. My text files will remain the same, and I'll be able to open them any with any program that reads text files on any operating system. I also don't have to negotiate with people when I'm sending them text documents. I don't have to ask them, hey, is it okay if I send you in PDF or Word or Pages or this or that? It's just plain old text file. I can even copy the document and paste it in an email for them to read if I want to. But you might ask yourself, okay, fine, I want to move to text files, but what if I want to add images or links, or what if I want to highlight, write bullet points or something? Well, there is a solution for that. There's something called Markdown, which uses plain old text files, but you add a bit of syntax to it. You can do headings, you can add links, you can add um, locations to images, bullet points. I do not miss writing in OneNote or Notion or any number of other apps that you can think of, and I have tried quite a few. So the reasons that I don't think I will ever go back to any of these apps, they might have these amazing features, but for me, the pros do outweigh the cons. One, my text documents will outlive me. I'm not at the mercy of these companies or app developers. They might decide to start charging me more, or they might decide to lock me out of my account, or they might decide to add some feature which makes my older files or older notes incompatible with new ones. Who knows? They might not even be in business 10 years from now. The other thing is it's a minimalistic design. Simplicity means less headache, right? It's just plain old text file. Also, I think the last one and the one which is more important to me is that I'm in control. If you start to use just plain old text documents, then you decide how you want to organize your notes and your documents. You can categorize them any way that you want. You can add folders, maybe at a different location. You can add a naming scheme for your files the way you want it. And I think that's the most important thing. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone who might find this interesting. All right. Happy note taking.